What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of What Do We Have Here, the segment of the channel where we unbox things. I'm very excited for this episode. I'm gonna call this the fairy tale episode part 1. The fairy tale line is not super big, but it does have a decent amount of pops in it. So I'm excited to show y'all because I also do think it shows the growth of Funko Pops in general. And like I said, since new Funko Pops have just dropped for Fairy Tale, I figured it'd be time to show the line overall. So with that being said, I wanted to start it off with Urza. And like I said, as you guys can see how long Funko Pops in general have come along. As you can see here, this is Urza's first design, but this is her design kind of with like her battle armor. This is usually how you would see her the majority of the series. As you can see how much Funko Pop has grown, because even though they do show awesome detail on the clothing and stuff like that, her armor, you can see in the other figure that there's more detail in her hair and things like that. So I love the fact that, you know, in real time we can see just how much Funko Pops have grown and just how much more detail they're involved. They show. Another form of Urza. This is her newer mold. This is her in like her if this is battle armor, this is kind of like her, I guess you could say like her battle gear when she like gets down to business and wants to be more fluid, more free. This is kind of like her usual outfit. So it was dope that we got to see her in this outfit, and like I said, you can see how much Funko Pop has grown. She's on a base, so you don't have to worry about any teeter-tottering and stuff like that. And like I said, there's gonna be a long episode. Not a long episode, but there's a couple things I do want to show. And like I said, since we just showed Urza, somebody that was big in the series, that was always around her, always trying to get her attention, is Jalal, if I'm saying it correctly. Jalal or Jalal, but I think it's Jalal. Another dope pop to me. This is part of the new line, and I love the fact that there's a lot of detail in his clothes. You can see he was a colorful character, so I love the fact that the pop kind of brought him out to life. I'll give you guys a quick spin. As you guys can see there, she like I said, he's kind of in his gear. That's how we see him most of the series. And he's somebody that grew up with Urza, so it was dope that we got a rendition of him. Somebody else I wanted to show, more members of Fairy Tale. More of the big dogs. Laxus is one of the big dogs. He's the grandson of like the headmaster of Fairy Tale. So again, I'm glad that we finally got a rendition of him. Very strong in the series. Some people might have a beef with him. I understand it, but he was one of my favorites. I loved his magic, and great redemption. He had a great redemption arc, so I thought it was pretty dope. Another character that they put a lot of detail into. It's pretty dope. Again, this is usually how you see him most of the series. He has thunder magic. That's why they show a little bit of thunder in his hands. He was usually in a dope fur coat. And hopefully we get Funko Pops of his, I guess you could say, of his team. You know, Fairy Tale has, even though they're an overall guild, they did have teams. They had people that usually spend most of their time together. So hopefully we get a rendition of Laxus's team. Another person that I wanted to show was Mary Jane. Hopefully we get a rendition of her sister and her brother, part of her team. But I like the fact that her brother and sister have kind of like beast magic, so they're able to morph their body into the specific animal that they want to use. So it'd be dope if we get a Funko Pop of them. And also of Mary Jane, because Mary Jane, she's a sweetheart in the series. She's kind of like the bartender. That's why you see her with drinks. She's like the caretaker for the guild. But we all know that she's also somebody that has, I guess you could say, like a scary side to her. When she has to get down to business and when she has to protect her family, aka the guild, she gets down. So again, dope that we finally got a rendition of Mary Jane. And last but not least, the two most important members to me of the series, they kind of the two people that started it all, Zareth and Mavis, I don't want to say necessarily what they play a part of, but as far as Mavis, I can tell you guys that she is the founder of Fairy Tail, the one that came up with the name, the headmaster, and Zareth was known as the Black Magician, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, he was feared. He was one of the first feared magicians in the series, and he came up around the time of Mavis. That's why I'm glad that we finally got a figure of Mavis. Again, dope detail. This was Mavis's clothes. Another person that was very strong, and somebody that did make looking after her family a priority. So Mavis was one of my favorite characters. If you haven't seen Fairy Tail Zero, which was basically like the what was this little prequel dubbed as Fairy Tail Zero, I suggest you watch it. It's where you learn more about Mavis and you learn more about Zareth. And with that being said, these are some of the figures I wanted to show you guys right now. They're related in as far as the story goes, so that's kind of why I wanted to show you them. And there's more Fairy Tail Pops out. Some I have, but I'm gonna wait till I get one more of the newer line and then try to do another reveal. That's why I call this Fairy Tail Funko Pop Part 1. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll include a picture at the end. And if you're a Fairy Tail fan or Funko Pop fan, I think you might enjoy it. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Peace.